Brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel, and tonight we are going to talk about The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. I remember a friend of mine purchased this book for me, and it was a book that I've seen and I didn't really know too much about. Believe it or not, the cover, it was grabbing me. And I don't remember who did the cover, but I think I spoke about Mark Lawrence in another video where we talked about grimdark and how he is a heavy hitter in grimdark. I haven't dabbled in that yet. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to like it, but we are going to explore it. We are going to explore it for sure. But I think a good introduction to Mark Lawrence is the library series, the book that wouldn't burn, the book that broke the world, the book that stole her heart. I smile when I think about this book because this series, I remember sometimes I read a book. If I'm reading a trilogy, I may read the first book, read something else, read the second book, read something else. I boomed this bad boy. Every single book back to back. And each book brought a different element of diversity to the story. This really was a world that was not, obviously the story was, the story wasn't linear. I had no sense of direction. I didn't know what was going on. It was literally like being at a theme park on a roller coaster, and you just strapped yourself in and you just allowed the story to take you wherever. This book is, let's just say, we're going to start with this first book, The Book That Wouldn't Burn. But the trilogy itself, it's dense and philosophical. It's whimsical and smart. It's very ambitious. World building. It is class. And I felt that same nostalgia of a kid reading a fantasy book for the first time. So the story is about a library that is the center of the world. It's vast, self-sustaining. There is a level of cleansing and rebirth in the library. The library has rules, secrets, mysteries, and it is the center of the world for real, in the sense that it was there since knowledge was born. Now we're going to get into the philosophy of The Book That Wouldn't Burn and its message, because it's very important that we dive deep into what the book is trying to tell us, what Mark Lawrence is trying to tell us. The book follows two characters, Eventary, who was raised in the library itself, and Lavara Page, who was raised in the dust, outside of the city walls that surrounded the library. Their lives become intertwined when the library's history, its purpose, and moral authority begins to fracture. Because knowledge is not for everyone here. It's rationed, it's preserved, and it's only for those who have the right to knowledge, who own the knowledge. Should knowledge be for everyone, for those who seek it, for those who have the ambition to learn more? Or should knowledge be gate kept? Ignorance is bliss. What you don't know won't harm you or anyone else. This book explores themes of knowledge as power, and the control of that knowledge, and the rationing of that knowledge, inherited privilege, class division, curiosity as a means of rebellion, a sense of institutional morality or individual purpose and consciousness. This book arises conversations of social stratification, institutions versus the dust dwellers. We're talking about books being a means of oppression and liberation. How the institution of the library is living and ever-changing, and the hill that these martyrs want to die on is forever changing in elevation. And these martyrs and their reason for dying on that hill changes. There's nothing that is constant but the library itself. Inside the library, it's constantly being shifted, moved. It's alive. It cleanses books. It protects books. It loses books. It finds books. How can I put this? There are books from different timelines in the library's history being passed through time to the future or to the past, where the present is always when or where you are on the timeline. It's a very deep book, book series, that is. Now, I know I'm talking about the series as a whole, but the book that wouldn't burn was our induction to the different races and species that are being represented in the book. Lavera grew up outside of the city where they called them dusters. Think of humans in the class system that we already have to navigate here in the real world. And where you're born dictates your class. Even within the city walls, it's everything that we are used to here. It's a microcosm of the world. And Lavera is the bottom. Lavera finds herself inheriting the have-nots way of life. And she's captured by the Karnith, which is a wolf humanoid that stands upright. Its fur has canines. It's erect and walking. It's very tall species. They are seen as savages and evil and just dogs. And her tribe or her community was nearly wiped out. All of the adults were killed. And now these Karnith are taking these kids in the communities, and they are now being escorted somewhere. Now, this is in the beginning of the book, so it's not a spoiler. I do not know how to talk about these characters, especially Ivar and Lavera. They find themselves, they find each other. And I'm going to leave it at that. The book, I'm going to tell you right now, the first book is my favorite. I was absolutely gobbling this up, and I couldn't put it down. I was talking to my friend, and I was just like, this is so good. Anytime I'm listening to music and I'm reading, and the music matches and pairs so well with the words on the page, I write the name of the song at the bottom of the page, and I tab at the top. Okay? And Joel Sonny and the dramatic violin pairs so well with the story of this book. It's perfect for me. It's perfect. Joel Sonny, dramatic violin, just play all his stuff and read this book. I don't even know what to say about this book. It made me emotional. It made me think. And you would think that a book about books or a library would be boring. Not as boring as another book that I read recently. There's 800 something pages. But that same magic and excitement that I got from Piranesi, I got here in all three of these books. This one, The Book That Wouldn't Burn, is a 4.5 out of 5 with a 100 on the love percentage. I loved it. I love all the characters. All of the characters have personality, and they have a identity. This is a cast of characters that were alive in many ways. And it was absolutely amazing. And it made me really want to go to the next book. Typically I would read something else, but for this, I wanted to get right to the next book. But I hope you enjoyed this review. Like, comment, subscribe, holla back at your boy, and I'm gonna catch you next time.